This is just a quick overview of the simulator I've been working on for actually quite a few years. The first time round was because of a disagreement I had with another theory crafter called Crank. It was over Golden Bow and Malice. I thought Golden Bow was stronger than Odysseus Bow for clearing, and I thought Malice was a lot weaker than he said it was. Well, the Golden Bow argument is still out there, even though it's now gone, so it doesn't matter. But the Malice argument apparently still exists. I was gone for a long time because of a medical reason, and I'm back working on this again. But I've decided to work on this again and show what's going on with this. So anyways, let's show what this is all about. So I'm going to start just by showing you Amazon Cobb, because he's actually in this more or less fully. Quick note here. Yes, there's a lot of UI stuff that's being updated, and this is not what's going to look like when I'm done. If you'll notice, you can't set the level of an ability right now, and not everyone has active abilities. This is going to change. I've got part of the reason why I am having to update every god is so I can get that in. The second reason why is because of this. The original one didn't show you how much damage your abilities would do. Ability damage is kind of flaky right now because it isn't showing penetration correct. I finally got an answer as to how to properly calculate that. Every time I went to go read something, I was getting different answers, but now I've got the correct answer and I've been able to test it, and now I know what to do. I just need to get it in. And yeah, not every god's got these numbers in. But Amazon Cobb's a good one to choose because he is an ability god. So getting his abilities up high is important. But just to show you very quickly how this works. Now, the enemy tab here just allows you to choose a bunch of stuff like the armor the enemy has, his health. We're not going to go into this too deeply, because minions are not handled properly, and gods just is basically multiple gods with these numbers. Yeah, certain people would love to have multiple gods with multiple different stats, but it's not really worth it. But this is the heart and soul of this, is basically allowing the hunter to figure out what works for them for what they want. Do you want high ability damage numbers or high auto attack numbers? And like I said, this all originally just started for me to prove whether or not Malice or Golden Bow were good. Well, let's very quickly run through here, and I'll show you the Malice question mark real quick. Now, the reason why Hive has to be in here is if you're standing in a Hive, your attack speed jumps up really high, and you don't want to cap that. So if you were to do some build like this, oh my god, you capped that so high. But if you wanted to pare it back some by removing stuff till it dropped down, you could do it pretty easily just by doing this, and oh good, look, we're under now. But yeah, you have some pretty low DPS, but that's not the point of this to show what's a high DPS one for him. But let's just show if Malice is good or not. The problem with Malice is that timer. If you're hitting consistently, which this is assuming 100%, and I am planning to add in the option of saying I'm only hitting this percent number of times to try and get more realistic numbers. But if you're hitting consistently, then Malice is really not that good. And this was an argument I got into, and this shows it. Because Crank's spreadsheets were, how to put it, they didn't show numbers that were real. But if you look, I mean, the 60 DPS difference is, well, pretty high difference. So yeah, there's a few other things I want to work into this to give a better idea of some stuff. But you can build it in other ways if you really want to. If you want to go for heavy auto or heavy ability damage, you can. I mean, this is really expensive, obviously. if you want to do something like this, there's nothing stopping you. I mean, you're going to do decent damage there, and your abilities are also going to do some good damage. So, the options are there. And to stick with this, just to show it to you. Take a look at the swarm damage, 252 damage plus the bee's damage. And compare it to Keranos' damage. Yeah. It does show some. Oops, that shouldn't be on. I wonder why it is. I'm going to have to go double check that. Yes, there are bugs. But it also shows how good a god will scale. So it can also give you some ideas on how you need to change as the game goes on. As I said, though, I need to get the leveling stuff in. The original one wasn't worried about that, but it's something I want to get in more. But anyways, that was just a quick overview of this. Feel free to give your feedback. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff I want to get in still, and I need to update basically every god here. Well, not all of them. Cupid was my original one, so he's in here also. Kronos was in here because, well, everyone's talking about him. But, you know, what are you going to do sometimes? I mean, the build I run with Cupid because I play him as an auto-attacker, and I can, and I've proven this many a time, kill people really quick with this build. But you can find builds that work for you for one reason or another. If you want to go with Agent Fatalis, it's your choice, and you can try and find items that work for you. If you want to go for an ability one, you can choose the items that will allow you to build up to that. You can choose Shifter's Shield and then build around that. It'll allow you to choose it. So, it's kind of that sort of one. It's very free in allowing you to choose the items you want. It only prevents you from, as this is showing, you can't choose items that you shouldn't have, like 2 boots. So, if you have any feedback on this, feel free to give it. It's going to be a while yet before I finish this up. I don't like doing all the data entry and all that I need to do to get all these gods updated to allow me to do the leveling stuff, but it'll get done.